Do you ever feel constantly hungry, even when you're eating healthy? Or like no matter what you do, cravings seem to control you? That's not just willpower. It's hormones, blood sugar, and stress at play. Today, we're diving into what's actually happening and how to fix it. This is going to be a good one. So grab your coffee and let's get into it.
Let's get into it, because I'm always hungry.
Yeah.
Always. I'm tired of it. Like, why I got to be hungry? I eat lots of protein.
You're always hungry?
Not like starving, but I'm hungry, yeah. My appetite's always, I just had lunch a little while ago, and I'm still kind of hungry.
Really? Oh, well, maybe we need to talk about that.
I know.
Even more so.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, so can you tell that my glasses are dirty?
Not from that angle. When you turn sideways, I could a little bit.
And it bothers you? Is it distracting?
I don't know. It's just should be clean. I'm attention to detail. And you said you're so OCD, so it's kind of weird. Why would you wear
They
dirty
just
glasses?
get dirty all the time because I have to go off, on, off, on.
True. I got glasses too. I had to wipe them off.
And they're in my purse. I don't know. But I can see okay, though.
Doesn't bother you?
Not really.
Bothers me. I notice it. If I wear my glasses, I can notice it.
I understand that it bothers you when it's your glasses that are dirty. What I don't understand is why it bothers you when my glasses are dirty.
It just does. Feels like it should be clean. From head to toe.
I thought that was very, very important to cover before we get too
Sure,
far.
it is.
Anyways, you guys, I got a couple of comments from people who just remembered to finally subscribe, and they realized they had not been subscribed, even though they've been watching us for months. So just a reminder, hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you are enjoying the show, because you might not even realize that you're not subscribed. But once you watch one episode, YouTube will feed you consecutive episodes, so you don't even know it, but you're not actually subscribed. So hit that subscribe button. Follow us on candidly_with_coffee on Instagram. Rate and review us on Apple, Spotify, all the things. Scan the QR code, because we put a QR code up on the screen. That QR code has all the relevant links from our sponsors, from our own personal social medias, as well as where you could download and listen to this podcast as well as watch it.
Funny you say that about YouTube. You were sitting on the couch with me, and I think we just found out, oh my God, it's All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. So I started watching the highlights on YouTube, and all of a sudden, like you said, it starts feeding me all kinds of basketball stuff.
Yeah, no.
I don't normally watch basketball.
Yeah, and
like
you're like,
that.
what the heck?
And it just started feeding me this and that highlight, this highlight. Like,
yeah,
man.
We train our own algorithm.
Yeah.
It knows what you spent time on. It knows what you're watching, and what you spend the most time on, it will feed you more of those things, especially if it's a long videos and long stuff.
Sure, for sure.
Same with like TikTok. That's how you know when you look at your Explore page on TikTok or your For You page on TikTok, like the content you're consuming, you'll know if you're consuming certain content because it's on your For You page, it's on your Discover page. If it's negative stuff, it means you are consuming negative stuff. It's not the algorithm's fault. It's your own fault. It's what you're watching.
It's what you're teaching it.
Yeah, for sure. So, and if you guys love this episode and if you love our podcast, share it. We'd appreciate that too.
Yes, we would.
We would really appreciate that. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's just go.
Go. Let's
You ready to go?
Blast off. Yes.
So why, specifically in midlife, why hunger feels out of control? I want to go into that because let me tell you, oh my goodness, you guys, I felt the change in my hunger before I ever even had an inkling I was in menopause.
Just like that, it shifted.
Yeah, I feel like I need to go back and pull up those episodes because I specifically remember doing an episode on how horrific my hunger was. Like I couldn't control it. I was so flustered with it.
You'd always complain.
And I didn't even know I was in menopause.
That's crazy because you'd always complain about being hungry. Now you barely.
Do you ever even hear me say that?
Never.
No, it's so
Not
regulated
once.
right now.
You're on point.
It's so
I'm jealous, kind of.
wonderful. Well, we're going to get into that because I know specifically things that I did that made a huge difference. And I stopped having to like reinvent the wheel and think I needed a million different supplements and things to control my hunger. I didn't need any of it, once I got it dialed in.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to get into for sure. But the role of hormones in hunger, that's what I want to talk about right now. So when estrogen and progesterone drops, it increases not only our appetite, but our resistance to insulin.
Interesting.
And when you have resistance to insulin, that's when you get cravings. That when your body has to put out a lot of insulin to remove the blood sugar out of your bloodstream, and then it creates the blood sugar spikes and it creates a lot of cravings because your body sends out the craving so that you can replenish the sugar in the bloodstream.
Can't fool this body, man.
And the other thing, and specifically in midlife, is our cortisol spikes from stress. We just talked about cortisol. I think it was on the last episode, but our cortisol spikes in midlife because when your progesterone and estrogen drop, your stress increases. Your tolerance for BS decreases. You have zero tolerance. Suddenly, the sound of your husband clanking his spoon or slurping his soup will want you to call your divorce attorney. It's just, you have less tolerance.
Come unglued.
You do. You come unhinged. And that, along with that anger, those surges of like irrational anger, come cortisol. And with cortisol, its trusty best friend is cravings for sugar and all the bad things.
The little devils come out.
Yeah. So that's another thing. So it's the reason why it feels like your hunger's out of control in midlife. It's because, again, like everything that we're dealing with at this time in life, it's the perfect storm of everything all at once. Any one of these things individually will make you hungrier, but together they make you want to eat your arm off.
Perfect storm. It's a disaster. It's like your body's going through a tsunami or tornado. Like what? And it's out of control. You can't control it.
It feels like, I remember,
and it
like,
pisses you off because you're like, I have no control.
Do you know the last time I felt like that? So I know how you're feeling, ladies. If you're feeling that way, I get you. Because I felt like that when I was in menopause and didn't know it. And the time before that, the only time I could compare it to was when I was pregnant. And when I was, it's for the same reasons, right? Your hormones are just going crazy. When I was pregnant, I remember getting upset. When I would order my food at a restaurant, I would already kind of be upset about it because I knew that it wasn't going to fill me up. So it's like I almost wanted to order 2 entrees. So instead, I filled up on chips and bread and all the things. I wouldn't go to a restaurant if they didn't serve bread or chips. I was like, do they serve bread or chips? No, we're not going.
That's kind of funny you're that way because I was kind of the same way too. I make sure if I'm going to a Mexican restaurant, they better be giving out chips.
They
and
better
salsa.
have good chips.
You have to. It's a must.
Yeah, that's too funny.
We're going to cheesecake.
So another thing is the role of hormones. The leptin and ghrelin gets out of balance. Your body's resistance to leptin, which is the hormone that tells your body when it's full. Ghrelin is the hormone that tells your body to eat. I love ghrelin. If you ever wonder a little tidbit to how to remember the word ghrelin, I think that's such a perfect name because to me,
I already know what you're going to go.
Growling. Like my stomach is growling.
Growling, yeah. Or the gremlin in my stomach.
Oh, the gremlin.
I was thinking that. The little gremlin's coming.
Yeah, the mean gremlin.
Yeah.
The one that gets water on it.
Yep. Remember that?
That gremlin.
The mean one.
Yeah. See, this is okay because
the hangry one.
Our audience is midlife, so they'll be able to relate to a gremlin reference.
That hangry one. Yep.
So another thing that impacts blood sugar swings. So eating too many quick digesting carbs without protein or fiber to pair with it is going to make you so hungry. I know that when you're feeling hungry, you want to reach for those things. Those are the things you want to reach for, but they will only make you hungrier. And we're going to get into that a little later in the show because I want to give you actionable things and ways to end this hunger because it's almost like you feel helpless when you just always feel hungry. You feel like you're never going to reach your weight loss goals because it's already hard enough.
Yes.
But then when you add in this insatiable hunger, it really makes it feel impossible.
I was going to say that.
It really does. So, of course, like I said, the blood sugar swings. Also, skipping meals is a big mistake. Big mistake. people think that, oh, like I'm just going to save all my calories for later. It's the pendulum is swinging too far in either direction. If you skip a meal, you're going to get so hungry that you're going to overconsume the meal that you finally do eat. And it's going to send an insulin spike and a blood sugar spike. And then it's going to result in a crash, which is going to then result in you eating more. Even ever have those circumstances where you're physically not hungry, but you're mentally hungry. Your stomach is full. Like you can't even button your jeans, but you still want more.
Yeah. Been there.
That's like a mental hunger, not a physical hunger.
And that's where you do the most damage.
Oh,
because I've done it.
Mm-hmm. And it's also a resistance to leptin. So it's when your brain tells you, it's the hormone your body releases, and to tell your brain will tell you you're full to stop eating. But if you constantly eat past satiety, you're eating because you want it, but you don't need it. In the stomach, you don't need it, but you want it in your brain. You are creating a resistance to that leptin because your body is sending the leptin off and you're ignoring it. Whenever you ignore it, you are creating a resistance to it. So now it takes more and more and more of the same hormone in order for it to work. It's kind of like building a tolerance with drinking alcohol, right? At first, one glass of wine gets you tipsy, but if you have a glass of wine every day, eventually one glass of wine will do nothing for you. Because you're developing a resistance to the alcohol because you're having it frequently. So if you are constantly eating to the point you're full all the time, your leptin's always flowing, you will create a resistance to it. And then you will not be able to pick up on the hunger cues. So again, we'll get into that also, but that's another tip that, not to eat past satiety like that, not to eat past fullness. I
was bad in my 20s.
I was bad in my 47s, 48s. I just got better at this.
Yeah. I would eat till I'm stuffed and then some.
Yeah. I just recently got better. But before we get into that, let's have a little break for MegaFit meals because, they're going to help you stay on track with your nutrition and hunger and craving. So we'll be right back. Hey everyone, I'm all about making life easier while staying on track with your health and fitness goals. And that's why I love MegaFit Meals. MegaFit Meals is your go-to for macro-friendly meal prep that tastes amazing. Whether you're crushing your fitness goals or you just want a convenient way to eat clean and delicious meals, MegaFit has you covered. They've got everything from high-protein favorites to keto-friendly options and everything in between. Plus, the meals come perfectly portioned, ready to heat and eat, saving you time and stress. And the best part, you can save on your orders by using my code, JEANINE at checkout. Head over to megafitmeals.com and check it out. Don't forget to use my code, JEANINE, because when life gets busy, MegaFit Meals keeps you on track. All right, you guys, so let's dive into more mistakes that you might be making. Don't worry, we are going to go over solutions so that you will walk away from this episode with things that you can implement immediately. But skipping protein at your meals is a huge mistake, and it could be leading to your hunger. Protein's going to keep you satisfied.
That's almost like catastrophic. You can't be skipping protein. No. That's what's going to keep you full.
And when I say skipping protein, let me clarify. Skipping enough protein. Because I think people have this distorted view of as long as they have a little bit of protein, that's enough. A couple of eggs or a piece of sausage, not enough protein.
Nope.
I'm talking the bulk of your meal should be protein, half the plate. And then the other half the plate, you can split carbs, fats.
So true. Remember, I used to get on me for under eating protein. I was like, no, I eat enough. And looking back, like you were so right.
I want you guys to do a little experiment. Do an experiment. Just say, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, if I have a bad appetite, I'm going to do one day, I'm going to eat 150 grams of protein. And I'm going to really pay attention to how I feel that day. And then wait a few days and then try eating only 50 grams of protein that day, but eat the same amount of calories both days. Journal it and see how different you feel. It will blow your mind. Everybody I need Ozempic for my appetite.
Right.
I need,
Yeah.
fat burners. I need this. I need all these things for the appetite. And you don't.
No.
You're not doing what's within your control. That's not, an expensive supplement. It's just eat more protein. It works.
Like
not eating enough healthy fats too.
That's so true.
Fats are very satiating.
When people try to cut off fats, you have to have fat. Your body needs it. Your brain needs it.
Yeah, but in terms of satiety too.
That too.
They're slow digesting. And that's why fat sometimes, like before a workout, they can kind of like boggle you down a little bit. And you don't need a ton of fats because fats have more calories than any other macronutrient. So there's 9 calories for every gram. So you think like 20 grams of fat is equivalent to more than 40 grams of carbs in calories.
True.
So you don't need a ton, but you should have them with every meal. Don't be afraid of full fat dairy. If you could fit it in with your calories, there's a lot of good quality protein and fat in a full fat dairy, and you're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's a good tip right there.
This is a big one for my midlife ladies, especially lack of fiber. This is a big mistake you're making. You're not eating enough fiber. And I know this because I look at food logs for a living and I'm like, what in the world? 6 grams of fiber in a whole day? Only 6? Like, how is this happening? That's a problem. You should be targeting 30 grams. 30 grams. I personally like to get like 35 because does it make a huge difference in your satiety.
So right. Fiber is a game changer.
Fiber, again, people are out here looking for, Ozempic and fat burners and all of that. Fiber slows down gastric emptying, slows down the digestive process. It is going to increase satiety. It's doing a lot of the things that GLP-1s do. But most people just don't consume enough fiber. Why do you guys think I'm obsessed with my yogurt bowl? I love that thing because it is so satisfying. I eat it, I enjoy it, but when I'm done eating it, I'm good. It's such a wonderful feeling. And if you're listening to this and you're suffering right now with really bad hunger, I know how horrible that feels to be done eating and know that you've just consumed a good amount of calories and you're still hungry. But what if you learned how to build a meal that is not only delicious, but you're going to go put that plate in the sink and you're going to be like, wow, I feel good. I'm satisfied. Like, I'm cool. I'm going to go, and guess what? You're going to go and you're going to get work done. You're going to go be productive. You're not going to want to go to the couch and take a nap. If you want to go to the couch and take a nap after you eat, you get back to the drawing board. You are not creating a proper meal.
Nope.
Tell us about like how you've felt, the difference between how you've felt in different meals that you've made.
I don't get to crash anymore like I used to. I don't overconsume. Well, I don't spike the insulin, first off. I make sure I have a lot of protein. That's the first thing that building my meals is the first thing I target. How much protein does this meal have? Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about the carbs. I make sure there's fats, but I'm more worried about am I hitting my protein goal. Mm-hmm. For me, I like to get 50 or more grams per meal. Mm-hmm. That way I'm nice and full. And again, no crash, no blood sugar drops, no insulin spikes, none of that. I haven't had one of those in a long time, probably since like we went in on a cheat day or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then when you haven't had one in a long time, you become real sensitive to it. Like you don't want one. You're like, oh, that's not worth it. I don't want to feel like that. And so you'll make better decisions because of that. Once you get used to the feeling and the difference, you'll truly make better decisions.
I think the last time I felt sick was when we went crazy on the donuts and pizza. Back in the summertime.
June.
Yeah.
Remember how sick I felt the next day?
Both of us.
I actually felt like I was hungover.
Didn't feel good.
I felt like I had drank at that pool party and I didn't.
Almost want to throw up.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was not good. Okay, another thing, overdoing cardio and HIIT. So if you're chasing weight loss and you're like going crazy with the cardio and HIIT, cardio and HIIT are going to raise cortisol levels. And like I said, cortisol is not always a bad thing. Cortisol is a necessary hormone. It gets vilified often. But if you're already struggling with hunger, you're doing other things wrong as well, and maybe you have stress in your life as well, maybe you're drinking alcohol as well, and then you factor in HIIT workouts, your cortisol is going to be through the roof, and that is going to make you hungry. So you're going to negate the effects of that exercise anyway, so why spin your wheels? Because you're going to eat back those calories.
So true.
I feel like I know a lot of people in Orange Theory would do that. It's like they would take credit for their workout like 5 times a day. Like, oh, well, I went to Orange Theory this morning. Yeah, sure, I'll have that. And they would do that 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Yes,
And
I
that's
believe
why,
it.
yeah, and that's why they end up.
I remember me doing HIIT. Mine was a little different, bad class, and how hungry I'd be after the class. I'd be like ravenous.
Yeah, that's cortisol.
Yep.
And then you would go to that Danica's place and just carb up hash browns or country fried potatoes, a cookie sometimes, all kinds of shit.
My God, I negated it, and I wasn't getting enough protein in.
No,
Like that, more
not
carbs.
even close. It have
Be
to have
toast,
the thing.
potatoes, and then you're getting some eggs, but maybe 20, 25 grams of protein at most with the cheese. Maybe 30 if you're lucky.
That was a huge, like this big. It's like you just busted your ass at that class to come home and put triple the amount of calories back in your body.
Yes.
And then take a long ass nap.
Yep.
That you literally did that. I would see you do that all
Guilty.
the time. That's crazy. Okay, another thing, too many processed foods. They're wonderful. I'm not saying that not to have them, but if you're struggling with hunger, you need to take a look at your food and cut out the processed foods. Because I eat processed foods because I enjoy them. But I know that they do absolutely nothing for my satiety.
Zero.
So if I'm really hungry and I have enough room for like a 200 calorie snack and I'm hungry and the goal is to negate that hunger, I will not have my protein bar. Instead, I would rather have like yogurt and my raspberry sauce with some protein powder. I'd rather have that because that's going to actually do something for me. I don't eat like my Bear Bells protein bars for hunger. I eat them because I enjoy them. But if you're struggling, you don't have calories to spare on things that are actually going to make you hungrier. And that is one of them.
That's so true.
A protein bar is going to make you hungrier.
Yeah, yep. It's true. You're right.
It does not satisfy your hunger.
No, not at all. That's why
Not at all.
I'd rather eat it at night before bed.
That's why I eat it then. Yeah. So that is another thing for sure. Not staying hydrated triggers hunger cues too.
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but when your body is dehydrated, once you are thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So you're not drinking. That means your body says, okay, Susie Q is not drinking, even though we're telling her she's thirsty. So now let's tell her she's hungry. In fact, let's tell her she's hungry for carbohydrates so that she will go eat foods that contain water so that we can rehydrate. And that is why a lot of times if you're having cravings, it could be because you're not drinking enough water. Your body is giving you the signal to consume carbohydrates because carbohydrates help you retain water. They have water in them.
Facts. I like to do my, what is that? What I like to do? Electrolytes. First thing in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. So that's another reason why it's important to stay hydrated. And remember, if you're thirsty, you're already a little dehydrated.
You could even use a little pink salt if you want. Like say you're making a creatine drink or something, you could put some pink salt in there as well. Because like you said, you want to stay hydrated. Because when you're dehydrated, you're right. Your hunger, your appetite's kind of like that ghrelin comes for you, the gremlin.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Transcend. We'll be right back. Hey, everyone. I wanted to take a minute to talk about something that has truly been a game changer for Mike and I. HRT and peptides from Transcend. If you've been following our journey, you know that we're all about thriving, not just surviving, especially at 49 and 50 years old. Thanks to Transcend, we're looking and feeling our absolute best. Their personalized approach to hormone optimization and peptides has helped us boost energy, improve recovery, and stay on top of our game. And here's the best part. You can experience the same transformation. Transcend offers customized treatments designed just for you. Whether it's hormone balance, better sleep, or more energy, they've got you covered. Are you ready to get started? Use our exclusive link, transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite. Book your consultation and take advantage of a 15% new patient discount. Don't wait. Your best years are still ahead, and transcendcompany.com can help you. Head to transcendcompany.com/EscoElite today and take the first step toward looking and feeling your best. Trust me, you won't regret it. Okay, guys, so I have to tell you about my favorite supplement brand. If you're not new here, you know it's 1UP Nutrition. This is probably the only time in my entire life that I've been this consistent with my supplements. And let me tell you, it's been a game changer. Their Gut Health Plus and Daily Cleanse have completely transformed my digestive health. I feel amazing and I'm never bloated. And don't even get me started on their protein powders, from the refreshing lemon Italian ice clear protein that I add to my yogurt pretty much daily these days, and their peanut butter cookie iso protein powder. I mean, their flavors are absolutely delicious. It's like having a treat while staying on track with your goals. If you're ready to level up your nutrition and try supplements that actually work and taste amazing, you're going to love 1UP Nutrition as much as I do. Just head over to oneupnutrition.com, use code Janine at checkout for a discount, and try some of my favorites and start feeling your best today, because your health deserves the best, and so do you. But we are back, and now let's talk about how to use protein, fats, and fiber to mimic the effects of Ozempic. Because I feel like I figured that out. And you always joke saying I'm addicted to my yogurt bowl. The reason why I eat that yogurt bowl is I literally feel like this is Ozempic in a bowl.
I know. You're always happy and satisfied after that. So it says, I want to eat it. You know, you started talking about, I want to have some, I want to have one now because it does. It's filling.
It's so filling.
Yogurt's a good protein source
and
too.
So much fiber. The way I make, I especially when I use my raspberry sauce with the chia seeds in it, it's loaded with fiber. It has protein, fats, carbs, fiber. I eat it, I enjoy it, and then I'm not hungry for like 5 hours. I don't snack, I don't pick, nothing when I eat that bowl. If I eat something else that doesn't have those same ratios, I notice the difference. And so that's why I'm like, do I really want to be a little hungry? Nah, I'm going to eat this. And I like it because it takes me through the parts of my day that used to be the most snacky. You know, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock is when I want to snack. Now I eat my yogurt bowl at around noonish, 12 to 1. And I don't eat dinner sometimes till like 6, 7, even sometimes.
You got it down. You nailed it.
So how does Ozempic work? First of all, let's go into it. So Ozempic works by slowing down gastric emptying. It regulates blood sugar and reduces appetite. It literally, sends off the hormone that controls the food noise in the brain. So how to mimic that naturally? So protein is going to reduce ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, right, that we talked about, the little gremlin, and it increases fullness, increases the feeling of fullness. Fats slow down digestion and stabilize blood sugar. Fiber slows glucose absorption, supports gut health, and keeps you fuller longer. So now I know exactly why that yogurt bowl is so satiating. It's like Ozempic in a bowl. I have a protein parfait. I have tons of different recipes for the protein parfait. And if you guys want, I will link that down below on my website so you guys can take a look. There's also a YouTube video here on YouTube that shows it, but I'll link it down in the description because it's all my different combos. I do different combos all the time. Like every couple of weeks I switch up my combo, but I always make sure that it's got the combo, the fiber, the fats, the protein, because that's what's making it so satiating.
You got it down pat with that bowl, man. I'm telling you, I think I'm going to start having it.
So let me talk about some other meal combos. So obviously that meal combo, the key with that meal combo is Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and berries. And then you can add in granola, you add in nut butter for added fats, like almond butter, or sometimes I just use cookie butter for the added fats. If I'm being completely honest, I love cookie butter a lot. Another combo you can do is scrambled eggs. But if you want to increase protein without increasing calories, do like 2 whole eggs and then like half a cup of egg whites. So now you're talking. Now you've got like 35 grams of protein.
That's my hack.
With very little amount of calories, and you're still getting the healthy fats from the egg yolk and all the nutrients that are in the egg yolk. So that's another good one. And you add avocado. And then have like a high fiber toast. So like any of the seeded bread would be good from Hero. It has lots of fiber in it. It's got even more protein. So you've got your eggs, you've got avocado, you've got a nice piece of bread from Hero, and now you've got yourself a high protein, high fiber with fats, Ozempic egg toast.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so true.
Because again, as long as you have those things, that's very important. And then if you have those things, protein, fats, fiber, you can enjoy the carbs because those things are going to negate your carbs. They're going to control the blood sugar response that the carbs wants to have. Those 3 guys together are like a little army that are going to be like, chill out to the carbs. So you can enjoy the carbs without the detrimental effects of eating carbs, which makes us hungry. What are some of your breakfasts that you eat? Do they have fiber? Do you make sure you get fiber?
Well, I do oatmeal, sometimes.
Because I think that's what you're missing is fiber. Remember how top of the show you were talking about you're still hungry? Because you get your protein in, you get your fats in, you have your carbs, you're missing fiber.
I think so. I'm going to start paying more attention. I'm going to start doing your hack.
Yeah.
Might even do a yogurt bowl. Start with that. Try that out.
Start the day that. We'll see
I'm going to start yours, but double. Make it like exactly like yours, but double the protein powder. But pretty much copy your blueprint and see how I feel. I think that's what I'm lacking.
I think that's it. I think we've cracked the code on you. You're doing everything right except for fiber. And I can attest to that because prior to really honing in on fiber, and when I got into menopause, I got my menopause certification. We had a whole section on fiber and how important it was. And that was something I changed in my meals. And ever since I did, no problem. I'm cruising like I've never cruised before. And guess what, you guys?
You are.
I'm not on tezofensine for appetite control anymore. And I was so afraid to come off of that. I'm cruising, and it's because I increased my fiber. I put I started with the tablespoon of chia seeds in my raspberry sauce. So I take the frozen raspberries from Trader Joe's, the organic frozen raspberries. You can make a whole batch at a time, dump it in, throw in some stevia, throw in like 4 tablespoons of chia seeds, a little bit of water, cook it down, and you've got yourself a high fiber. You're getting fiber from the raspberries and fiber from the chia. Put it on your oatmeal. Use it in a PB&J sandwich. Use it on top of your yogurt. Use it as an ice cream sauce.
You just gave me an idea right there.
You can use it on those buttermilk biscuits.
You just gave me an idea. If I make oatmeal, I'm gonna do that. Add that.
Yeah.
Or my PB&J.
Well, add PB and that to your oatmeal, and it's PB&J oatmeal. It's delicious.
Game changer.
See, this is what it's like, by the way, to be one of our clients. Our clients get all these meal ideas in the app.
Yep.
That we are just flooding the app these days with meal ideas, and we try to be mindful of these types of things. Another thing that you guys can do, another thing you can eat, salmon, because it's got your healthy fats. Salmon is good to incorporate once or twice a week. Quinoa is excellent for fiber. So quinoa, couscous, those types of things with some roasted veggies, some olive oil, those are going to make nice, well-rounded meals as well. And then I always like to throw in a bunch of greens. So I always ask myself, can I throw in a couple of handfuls of kale or spinach in this or arugula? Because you're going to get more micronutrients and you're going to get more volume and you're going to get more fiber as well as, like I said, all of the additional micros.
Yeah.
I like to do that a lot.
I know you do.
I get those big shredded kale bags. I don't track or measure my kale, my greens at all. I'm like, nope, I just dump it in. And
I'm gonna start doing that. Doing what you do. Bunch of kale, get some chicken.
Yeah.
And then just kind of whip it together.
I'm making Mr. Escobar hungry over here, I think.
You are. You're giving me more ideas.
All right. So some action steps and takeaways for you guys. First of all, give yourself cut yourself some slack, because it's not that you have poor willpower. These hormones are powerful. What we're talking about here is powerful. People eat themselves to death over these things.
Oh yeah.
So it don't feel bad if you have been giving in. Because if you've been giving into your hunger, it's because these are very powerful. They're powerhouses. One of these hormones by itself will derail you. Never mind, in midlife, you've got the perfect storm. You're dealing with all of them. Insulin resistance, leptin resistance, ghrelin dysregulation, cortisol spikes from the lack of sleep. I mean, listen, we have every excuse in the book. I still say till the end of time, women are freaking incredible, because what we go through with childbirth and pregnancy, and then you're going to gift us freaking menopause.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't do enough.
Like, who threw that in the mix? Who threw that in the sauce when they created man and woman?
It's some BS. It's crazy.
What do we say? You're out to pasture now.
F that. No. Like, I love it. I've been having people comment saying, you're going to have to pry that towel out of my shrivelly, wrinkled hands. Like, no, we're not throwing in the towel.
No.
And if you're listening to this show, I know you're not throwing in the towel, because that's what we talk about here. So first of all, cut yourself some slack, because it's not that you have poor willpower. It's hormones, it's blood sugar, and those are powerful. Avoid the hunger mistakes, though. That's within your control. Okay, so it's time to take back the power. Stop eating too low of protein, not getting your fiber in, cutting out fats because you're a lady of the 90s.
Ah, that's funny.
Seriously.
90s.
Everything. My mom would say,
science.
It's healthy, it's fat-free.
Oh, my goodness.
Which, by the way, I'd like to special shout out to my mom, who's with us here on the couch, because this was her coat.
Right.
It's 60...
You said 61 years old.
61 years old. My dad gave it to her for her sweet 16.
It is. It's been from one part of the country to the other part of the country.
And
started in the east, now it's in the west.
And she, not only that, when our house was burning down when I was 6 years old, my mom ran back into the house, and I remember I was so afraid she was going to die. I was petrified. And she comes out of the house, and she's got a photo album and this coat on. I'll never forget it.
Savage.
She's got a nightgown, and with her leopard coat. She went to save her coat. She loved this coat so much.
Fearless right there, that woman.
Yeah, and when she was in hospice, one of the last days she was still speaking, she goes, Janine, go get my coat. I was like, you're going to give me the coat? Because I have siblings and stuff. I was like, you're going to give me the coat? She goes, yes, that coat is for you.
Wow.
So cute.
You're going to keep the tradition going.
I know. So I love this coat, and it's very on trend right now. Leopard is really in, but that's not why I'm wearing it. I'll wear this till the end of time. It was cold outside, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to wear the leopard coat. Anyways, I digress. You're going to focus on balanced meals so you can naturally mimic the effects of the appetite regulating hormones and the effects of the balanced meal. So balanced, we threw another one into the mix there. I know we always talk about balance. We talk about proteins, fats, carbs, fiber. Protein, fat, fiber, carbs.
And let's do this together, you guys. Let's take her advice, me included. We'll check in back in a few weeks, right? Let's report back.
Yeah, so in a week and a half or two, we're going to do an episode on gut health. We're going to dive even deeper. And it's a few episodes away, like 3 episodes away, but we'll report back. So that'll be the episode I want you guys to report back on. So try it now. And when we get to that episode on gut health, let's reconvene, and we'll share I'll share some of your comments and experiences on that episode if you share them beforehand.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because it makes a difference. It's game changer.
I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna see now.
It's game changer. All right, you guys. So on the next episode, we're gonna dive a little deeper into cravings, because I know a lot of us have them, and they're not always related to food. So we're going to talk about some of the other things that could be causing your cravings, and it'll be a good one. So tune in next time.